hand, an important decision factor in terms of site selection is infrastructure. Rafael Torres, could you talk about the industrial parks that are available in Jalisco regarding land, type of warehouses, and build-to-suit projects, please? Rafael Torres is the General Director of Centro Logistico Jalisco, an important industrial park here in Jalisco.
Of course. Thank you, Javier, for the introduction. And of course, for the state government for making this webinar possible. And of course, thanks to you guys for taking the time to connect with us today. For us, it is very important to share with you all of this information. We will take the time to present a couple of slides. Please, the next one. Well, first of all, Mexico and Jalisco's moment is still in place. We are living a unique moment still in place. Basically in central Mexico, but mainly in Jalisco. Jalisco's manufacturing opportunity is in place. Since the trade war started in between the US and China, there has been created a huge expectations regarding the feasibility that Mexico has in order to receive a wave of Asian manufacturing operations regarding the proximity of the country to the vast and still fast-growing US market. The USMCA, United States, Mexico, and Canada Agreement, or as we call it in Mexico, the TMEC, is the most important trade agreement we have. It gave us preferential access to North America. Furthermore, 11 free trade agreements allow us to import and export preferential schemes with the European Union, Japan, Israel, and of course, another Latin American countries permit us to maintain preferential terms with 46 countries around the world. In the next slide, you will see the time zone. Sergio explained this a little bit, but going more in detail. Doing business with Mexico may be just what your company needs to prosper. If you are in Asia or maybe Europe, with lower wages, being in Mexico for the skilled workers and lower transportation costs since Mexico to the US, of course, because we are neighboring and we share this agreement, than China or India, for example, location not only give you the preferential costs that we have been very close, also ensures faster production, turnaround time, not to mention ease of communication and similar time zones. The next one, please. Well, according to the International Monetary Fund, the economy in Mexico is a developing market economy. It is the 15th largest economy in nominal terms and the 11th largest by purchasing power parity. Mexico exports more than 400 billion US billion worth of goods around the globe. The dollar amount reflects a 25 increase since 2015. If you are considering export from Mexico, this is a very big advantage. Export from Mexico represents 2.5 of the global exports worldwide. This is 2019 data. Around 80% of Mexico's exports by value were delivered to North American countries, while 5% were sold to importers in Asia. Mexico shipped another 5% worth of goods to Europe and 4 to 5 going to Latin America. Of course, excluding Mexico, but including the Caribbean. The Mexican economy has had an unprecedented macroeconomic stability, which has reduced inflation and interest rates to record lows and has increased per capita income. You can see the distributions are main countries where we are exporting is the US, Canada, of course, China, Germany, and Japan, and importing from US, China, and Germany. And most of these imports, of course, are part of the supply chain production we have in Mexico to export mainly to the US. The next slide, please. Well, Mexico is the 9th largest export economy in the world. Almost a quarter of our export are vehicles related, if you add the 8.4, 7, 6.3, and either autos of a truck, even, or some auto parts. It's a quarter of the total. This is our most important sector in the country. Not the same in Jalisco. I will explain later. Electric and electronic, it's almost 20% if you add the different sectors. Local in Guadalajara is well known as the Mexican Silicon Valley. Since 40 years, they have developed a very strong, it was explained before. Jalisco, as a state, is the sixth largest exporter from Mexico. There are 32 states in Mexico. We are exporting around 20 billion as a state. Actually, from those 6 states that are the first 6 states exporters in Mexico, they total some 60% of total exports of the country. Only 6 states. So Jalisco, even though that we are located close to the port, which is most important for import products, take your raw materials from abroad and then export them to the U.S., we are on the 6th top export states in the country. 70% of the export are exported to the U.S. and Canada from Jalisco, 15% to Europe, and around 10% to Asia. 55% of our exports, Jalisco, are electronics, and almost 20% are more related to agribusiness, fresh products or processed products. The next one, please. Of course, the port. It is very important. If we talk about Guadalajara and Jalisco, we need to talk about Manzanillo Seaport. If you are shipping from Asia, which is very common in Mexico, shipping from Asia and then export to the north, shipments from to Mexico will depend on your choice, if it's FCL or LCL shipping. In average, you can consider from 15 days to 30 days in the time that you will receive your products in Mexico, from, as an example, China to Manzanillo Port. Manzanillo Port is the most important port in the country, and it's the closest port to Jalisco. Just 200 kilometers, round number. It handles almost 50% of all import containers coming to Mexico. If you need to be closer to raw material and components, as I said before, Jalisco will be your best choice. Guadalajara is the second most important city in central west region in Mexico. The next one, please. Talking about highways and geography in Mexico, that is very important. As you can see, the north part of the country, even though that is very close to the U.S., there's lack of communications in between the cities located in the border. Mexico is a very big country with almost 2,000 million square kilometers, but it's only 20% of the U.S. or Canada surface. They have 10,000 square kilometers. We are 20% of them. This is very important because in spite of being located close to the port and not to the border, it's very close to the U.S., the distance from Guadalajara to the east coast, as an example, in the U.S., it is around 3,700 kilometers to 4,000 kilometers, in which more than 3,000, it is into the U.S. It's to say, most of the freight distance take place in the U.S., not in Mexico. In other words, being located in the Mexican border instead of close to the port is a very small difference, but having the proximity to imports and entrance of the custom is far more important. Remember, as in many other countries, exporting in Mexico is far easier than importing. The next one, please. Export railroad routes. In addition, railroad infrastructure and railroad service for heavy, large, and wide products for export is far more cheaper than truck. But because of the distance, as larger the distance is cheaper. And it's improving a lot in recent years because so many companies that have been located in central Mexico. Central Mexico is the most populated area in the country, and it is where 60% of the gross domestic product have established for foreign investments. Next one, please. The Guadalajara's airport, very fast. We have several connections, mainly to the US. This is a commercial flights. But in the next slide, we will talk about cargo, which is, let's say, Guadalajara is the second most important air cargo terminal with around 200,000 tons per year. Cancun, that is the third one, it is only 15% of the total tons that we move in the Guadalajara's air cargo terminal. Mexico City is number one, of course, but is limited in infrastructure capacity as well as in the space for expansion. That makes Guadalajara terminal the most promising air cargo terminal in Mexico. Next one, please. Well, very fast, we went into this data before. We are the second largest populated area in Mexico. Around, if you take the region, not only Guadalajara, if you take the region, 200 kilometers around of the state of Jalisco, because if you are from another country, it doesn't matter the name of the state, but the advantages that you have in being at such a populated region with high trained workers and executives, and 10% of the local population of all the country. It is located 200 kilometers around of Jalisco. Next one, please. Okay, we have a very young population. Most of our population is concentrated in between 30 years and, let's say, 50 years. The eager and need of having employment opportunities, it is one of the most interesting advantages that we have in Mexico in this moment, of course, because we have the people, but that people is prepared and well skilled for very specialized processes. Next one, please. Well, Guadalajara, what can I say? It's a very full place to live. We have wide shows of housing developments, cultural activities, recreational and commercial areas, golf courses, a good number of services, events. Not now, of course, because we are in the lockdown, but it is in process of starting out everything again, and it's a very nice place to live. The next one, please. Okay, one of our most interesting advantages is, of course, universities and technical schools. It is in Jalisco, in central Mexico, but mainly in Jalisco, it is very well prepared in order to work with the industry. The local universities and technical schools have prepared very well programs in order to adapt them to the matricula, to what company needs, and they have very good processes in order to make these things a very practical process to train the people and, of course, to educate them. Next one, please. Okay, finally, let me talk about this association that we have in the state of Jalisco, which is very important. Not all of the states in Mexico have one association like this one. As a country, we have it. It's a National Association of Industrial Parks, but in the state, we have the Association of Industrial Parks. This helps you when you will start the process for site selection, the right place in the country. I'm sure that you will stop in Jalisco. This is the easiest way because they work together with the state government. It is a non-profit association that groups most of the important activity industrial parks that we have in the state, and to promote and institutionalize all the industrial parks in the state. We have 35 industrial parks. Next one, please. We have sufficient infrastructure. APIEC acts as the link between economic development, said before, federal, state, and municipal levels of government. In addition, it represents the interest of industrial developers that allow them to facilitate establishment of industries, contribute to increase their profitability, of course. In the second quarter, to give you some data, despite of the COVID lockdown, the net absorption rate of Class A industrial spaces in Guadalajara metropolitan area placed close to 1 million square feet. For Mexican standards, this is a very good number. In Mexicans, For this, we can conclude that Jalisco is your best option to set up your new logistic and manufacturing operation. Please, once you get the ball rolling and you want to establish in the country, take the time to visit Jalisco. It's a must. Okay? It's a must to see. Getting close to the end of this presentation, I want to thank all of you, of course, for participating in this webinar, and of course to the Minister and Deputy Minister of the State of Jalisco, Ernesto and Sergio, for their work and making this and another promotion events possible. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rafael. Also, Rafael is part of the promotion committee of the Association of Industrial Parks of the State of Jalisco. Thank you, Rafael. Next question it is.
Okay, I have here, what is the average cost of building in an industrial warehouse in Jalisco?
Okay, Mr. Rafael, could you help us, please?
Yes, of course. Just a second is giving. Okay. Well, if you talk about the cost of the construction in an industrial facility, costs around $300 per square meter. It is around $27 per square feet. And if you want to purchase a property, land in Jalisco and Central Mexico, goes from $45 up to $100. It depends, of course, the location, if it's close to the city or you are just thinking in export and other places. But now those are round numbers. Of course, it depends on the project. If your facility is very specialized, it will be higher. But it's a chill. Those are round numbers.
Excellent. Thank you, Mr. Torres.